Hello, I'm Tim Krul. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello, everybody. Lewis, Norwich City Central, and welcome back to another match preview on the channel. It's been quite an eventful couple of weeks for Norwich. Norwich returned to the Premier League after a record Championship season, and they have Liverpool and the Man City. And the Liverpool game, good performance, but lose 3-0. The Man City game, a 5-0 loss, and it was not a great performance. And then you have national media teams questioning Norwich's integrity, and they follow it up with an incredible 6-0 win over Bournemouth. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below for the game from a Norwich perspective and a Leicester perspective. Of course, in these match previews, I like to start with the opposition, Leicester, then talk about Norwich, and I'm also going to have my predicted X-site in this video as well. But yes, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. And as I said, it's been an eventful week for Norwich, and it's really interesting. Of course, Norwich had that disrupted pre-season, and some fans might even say it's an excuse. Obviously, Norwich have kind of got a get out of jail free card with the pre-season. Well, now Norwich have had two really difficult games. Our season starts now from a Norwich perspective. Leicester is a winnable game. It's going to be a tough game, of course, but Norwich took 4 points from Leicester 2 years ago. The season starts now for Norwich, and I'm really optimistic. We can go and do good things now, particularly after some of the performances against Bournemouth. Kenny McLean, Brandon Williams, and of course Josh Sargent, USA, and Christoph Tzolis really put in excellent displays, and they're going to be pushing on the door. But from a Leicester perspective, 2 games so far, 1 win and 1 defeat. Of course, that defeat came against West Ham, a 4-1 loss, and they were really poor in that game. Jose Perez got a red card, and there's some problems at Leicester at the moment. This is a good opportunity to play Leicester. Lots of injuries, and if you particularly look at their injuries at the centre-back area, that's where the worries are. Lots of injuries to Justin, to their centre-back, Evans. Yeah, there is a few injuries, and Norwich City can definitely exploit Leicester's kind of makeshift centre-back pairing. I'm not convinced with Amati as a centre-back, so Inchu, I don't think has started the season well. So from a Leicester perspective, defensively they look poor, but going forward they've still got very good players. Harvey Barnes and James Maddison, very dangerous English players. Of course, we know what James Maddison can do with a ball at his feet. Absolutely exceptional player. And Vardy getting on now, but Vardy's kind of a cult hero. And I think I've got a feeling Leicester might go to a 4-4-2 in this game with Vardy and Iheanacho up front. So I think Leicester are going to go for it, and I think it could be a game with lots of goals. But yeah, Leicester, of course, finishing 2 years ago, they looked destined for Champions League football, but they bottled it. I remember them losing towards Bournemouth at the end of the season. And last season, they looked certainty for top 4 again, and they ended up falling out of the top 4 places on the final day at the expense of, I think they lost to Tottenham, didn't they? So from a Leicester perspective, 2 seasons in a row, they should have had Champions League football, but they've had to settle for Europa League football. And that must hurt from a Leicester perspective, because I'm looking at the team at the moment, and I don't think they're going to be at the heights of challenging for the Champions League places. I think they're going to probably be around 7th and 8th. It's going to be a tough game, but with Leicester's injuries at the back, and haven't really hit kind of the top gears yet, it's definitely an opportunity for Norwich to exploit. And we know what Leicester are all about. They like to play, they like to keep the ball, but they've also got that counter-attacking element with Vardy and Iheanacho up front, and they've got lots of pace, which Norwich City will have to be aware of. Norwich, I think we don't want to dwell too much on the Man City performance. It was pretty spineless, a lack of physicality, and just a really poor display. But the game against Bournemouth, oh my word, Christoph Tzolis, I have to get the name right, and people know me, I'm not great with pronunciation, but I believe it is Christoph Tzolis, and we better get the name right, because he looks like he's going to be a really special player. 19 years old, £10 million signing from a Norwich perspective. Yeah, extremely promising start for him. You don't want to hail him too early on because he's 19 years old, but you really want to see more from him. And Josh Sargent as well, another youngster up front, looked really dangerous. So that was really impressive from a Norwich City perspective, the fearlessness going forward, and the attacking intent. Okay, it was against a makeshift Bournemouth team, but you've got to take confidence from that. And after Norwich City failed to score in their first 2 games, you've got to take confidence from those performances. But yeah, Norwich, 8 goals conceded in the first 2 games, really disappointing, but I'm expecting Norwich to show more resilience, and particularly going forward, I want to see some pace. I want to see some no fear going into this game. I think that's what it is. I think I just want to see this Norwich City team say, you know what, We deserve to be in the Premier League. Let's show no fear. Let's attack the team. And I think that will serve us really well. But yes, it's going to be a really entertaining game. Leicester, as I said, got a makeshift kind of defence at the moment, and Norwich City are, of course, lost their 2 games to an aggregate of 8-0. So it's going to be really promising. It's going to be a really exciting game, and I'm certainly looking forward to hearing about it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do a match review for this game. I'm away, but I will be back for the NCC show with Ducker, and I want to thank everyone for the support on those live streams, because you guys seem to be really enjoying it. But yeah, that's the type of game I'm expecting. 2 teams who want to attack, 2 teams who want to attack with pace and intensity, and I'm expecting quite a few goals in this one. In terms of a predicted XI, I'll leave it on screen there. Tim Krul in goal, of course. Ben Gibson and Hanley returning to the centre-back position. Max Aaron's right back. The left-back's a really interesting one. Brandon Williams was outstanding against Bournemouth, but for me, at the moment, it's Dimitri Giannoulis' place to lose. And I want to see what Giannoulis and Christos Tzolis is like on the left wing as well, because that Greek partnership could be really exciting. 2 central defensive midfielders of Billy Gilmore and Kenny McLean. Kenny McLean underrated and was exceptional against Bournemouth. Really interested to see how Daniel Farke plays as one, because for the 3 games this season, including the Bournemouth game, he's gone with a 4-3-3 and played kind of Rupp, McLean and Sorensen. So he's seemingly got a bit more defensive, and rather playing that 4-2-3-1, he's kind of gone into a 4-3-3 or 4-3-2-1, which is interesting from a Norwich perspective. For me, that suggests that maybe Daniel Farke wants to put more bodies in the midfield to kind of solidify us. I'm not sure what it means for the futures of people like Hernandez and Plaheta, because obviously there's less, the attacking players have got to do more to get into those attacking areas. So it'd be interesting, but I really want to see us go back to the 4-2-3-1 and just go at Leicester and have a really positive mindset. And that's why the front 3, I want to see Rashita, Cantwell through the middle, and Christos Tzolis. Yes, Rashita, I think, has had a really good start, promising, good runs, looks athletic. Cantwell, I want to see him through the middle. I want to see what he can do. It might not be his best position, and it might be the case that Cantwell is better served coming off the wing, but I want to see what he can do through the middle. And Christos Tzolis, exceptional performance, 19 years old. I think he deserves an opportunity to start. When you get 2 goals and 2 assists on your debut, you've got to start. And then you've got the debate, Teemu Pukki or Josh Sargent. Pukki, at the moment, doesn't look up to it. He is a Norwich City club legend, and I love the guy, and I'm sure he's going to play a big part for Norwich this season. But Josh Sargent, coming off the back of an excellent display, looks fitter, looks hungrier. Sargent, has got a good link-up play with Rashita, had really good link-up play with Christos. So yeah, it's got to be Josh Sargent up front, and I think it will give us something different. So that's what I want to see. I want Norwich City really attack this game, fearless mentality, and get some goals on the board. And I think it's going to be a really entertaining game. Score prediction, we have a good record against Leicester. My heart says a 3-1 Norwich City win with Sargent to get a goal, Cantwell to get a goal, and Rashita to get a goal. But I'm going to go with my head, which says 2-2, which is slightly less pessimistic. But I think Norwich City have got an excellent opportunity to get some points on the board against Leicester here. But yes, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below on the game and what kind of team you'd play, because I've seen a whole host of teams. Would you start Teemu Pukki? Would you start Tzolis? It's going to be a fascinating selection headache for Daniel Farke. But thank you for watching. Subscribe to Norwich City Central if you're new. USA, 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 and I'll see you later.